Welcome to Irresistible You, Ignite Your Passion and Purpose. My name is Karen Seltz. I am your host, and I am here with a very special guest, Patsy James. Patsy and I met at a local networking event, and we just had this thing like, we're like, I need to talk with you. I need to be in your energy. And when you meet her, you're going to know why, because her energy is contagious. Her story is unbelievable. Can't wait for you to hear it. And well, the headline was like how this woman released 100 pounds and kept it off for over 25 years. So I'm going to let her share that with you. But she now is part owner of a medical weight loss clinic, and she helps other people to really release all that weight. And I'll let her tell you all about that. So welcome, Patsy.
Thank you so much, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to share and be with you. So thank
Yes.
you.
I love, we've met a few times, and
hmm
the more I find out about your story, when you were telling me things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have you on my show. So, start wherever you think it's valuable for people to hear. Like, how did you get to the point where you were 100 pounds overweight? What led up to that?
well, very good question, and that's a great place to start. Is what happened. Um, Basically, I kind of woke up one day and I'm like, what has happened to me? I looked down at myself, and the way I look in the mirror does not match who I feel like I am in my heart. And I was in my 20s. I was 235 pounds at my heaviest. I'm 4'11", very petite person. And, I'm a single mother. I have this beautiful little boy. And I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not who I want to be. It doesn't match. The outside does not match the inside. But then I was reflecting on, my earlier years. And there's been a lot of trauma and hardships in my life that I've endured and overcome. And I was using food, as a way to comfort myself. Food never talks back, doesn't lie to you. It's there for you. It's a quick fix. You can get it anywhere. And, there would be times where I'd be triggered and I would just need that hug of the cookie or the chips or the ice cream, and yeah, it was just using it as a way to comfort myself was
Yeah,
the
it makes
food.
perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I think so many people can relate to that. I don't know anybody who hasn't used food to comfort themselves, but
True.
yeah. And I've struggled with weight over, many times in my lifetime.
hmm
So I get it. Um, so do you think there's a link for other people with like difficulty or trauma and like holding on to the weight? And I'll ask you a second question after that one.
Yes. Um, there's two ways of looking at it for myself personally. Is number one, I was using it as comfort, and then number two, there was some physical things that happened to me as a young girl that I was using the extra way as protection to keep people away. So there's those two reasons that I was doing it. And yeah, so that's basically why. And then I don't know if you want me to continue on with what I did to get it off, but
Yeah, please.
I just woke up one morning and I'm like, never again, no more. This is not who I am. And I'm a get things done and kind of a drastic kind of thing. When I make a decision, I do it and whatever it takes. So I literally had surgery. I did the gastric bypass.
Mhm.
I didn't have much money, but I did have insurance. And so I went to this amazing doctor, and he had treated my mom in the past for something else, but he was doing gastric bypass, and I met him, and he was like, Patsy, I really want to help you. I know this surgery would change your life. And he was getting ready to retire, and he knew that my finances were very, very tight. So he took what I could give him and did it. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I had the very drastic bypass. It's not nowadays you can do the sleeve and different other surgeries. I literally had him cut me wide open and take part of my stomach out. I know that sounds gross, but I just really, really, really wanted to get the weight off and keep it off and be done with it. So did the surgery. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I'll never forget that. Recovery was hard, but I was just so motivated and determined that I don't even remember the hard recovery because I was just so excited. Um, so got the surgery, and then I made a lot of mistakes with getting the weight off, and I use my mistakes now to help my clients not do those mistakes.
Yeah.
So the biggest mistake that I did was I was concentrated on that number on the scale.
Mm.
So my goal was to be 100 pounds. And I would be obsessed with that scale. I would weigh myself once, sometimes twice a day. I would eat maybe half of an egg. I would eat maybe 2 bites of yogurt, maybe
In a
part of
day?
it in a day, part of a banana. Like
Oh,
I ate as little as possible, and that number went down in 6 months. In 6 months' time, I lost all of the weight. In fact, I was underweight. I was very thin, very unhealthy. My hair fell out.
oh,
I was, I sagged. Everything sagged. I looked gray. I looked like I was a cancer victim. It was not pretty. So I realized, oops, I did not do it healthy. The number on the scale does not mean anything, people. Don't put that scale away. It's not a good measure of health. So then I learned better nutrition. I learned to be protein, um, focus on protein, focus on whole foods, do the weight bearing exercises. It took me about 2 years to get myself back to health.
yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple of things that I did wrong, but I'm happy to share that with other people so that they don't do that.
Yeah, I love that. And what inspired you to like open a clinic, a medical weight loss clinic?
Great question. So I've been in the beauty industry for 28 years and I love people. I had a private business, so it'd be just me and my client. And so I already had those skills that I've learned of being present, listening, giving basically, I called it nail therapy. Like I would sit with my client for her hour appointment or 2 hours with me. And, we would chat and share each other's lives. And then I'd see them in like 2 weeks. And how was the barbecue? How was the job interview? So I really learned those people skills. And I learned that I love working with people and I love helping. And I get such great joy of seeing people around me reach their goals, and it's just so exciting. I had this beautiful, wonderful woman as a client, and she was on her weight loss journey, and I shared mine with her like I always would love to do. And at one point she said, Patsy, I want to open up a medical weight loss clinic and help people. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't even pause. I immediately said to her, how can I help? And she just kind of laid back and she was like, I was hoping you'd say that. And so we are a boutique, but high value medical weight loss clinic. And we look at people holistically. Everybody's different. We don't just throw medication at somebody and be like, good luck. We actually help with mindfulness. We help with mental health. We help with nutrition, physical activity, making sure you're doing the correct weight bearing exercises that you can do. We give support, basically 24/7. I have the phone with me right now. And if somebody's in crisis and they reach out, or even just a silly question, I'm at I'm at Costco. Which snack is the healthiest? And they'll FaceTime me or send me photos, and I'll help them choose what's best for them. But yeah, so we give that extra support, the white glove treatment. Everybody is so different. I've had a lot of clients come from other clinics and they just didn't feel heard and it just wasn't the right fit for them. Some people want that, which is fine, but they wanted that personalized white glove care. And so it's been so exciting. I'm thinking of a particular young lady right now, and um, she has lost a good 15 pounds already. And she was on the other program for about 6 months. I think she lost like 5 the whole time. So yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
just having the correct um, support, and learning about nutrition, about yourself, wellness, mindfulness. And what do you do whenever you want to be comforted? You want to go for that cookie, or there's got to be something else. You can't just cold turkey it and sit on your hands. I mean, that's
Yeah.
miserable, right?
Yeah. So
So
what worked for you, like in terms of like mindfulness? What are some practices that you found useful?
um I love exercising. I love getting up early in the morning, and I love my early morning sunrise walks. That is like my meditation for the day. I clear my mind. I do my gratitude. I'm thankful for the day. I think about what's going to happen. It really sets the tone. I love spin class. I love going to hot works. I love lifting weights by myself. I mean, anything like that. And the endorphins that are released are better than the endorphins when you eat that cookie or whatever. And for me, that has been very, very key in my success. And then just focus, surrounding myself with like-minded people,
Mhm.
other people who are on their health and wellness journey. And it's nice to have a tribe of people surrounding you to support you on your journey. And it's interesting, you know how when for me, when I was at my heaviest, I thought for sure that when I got that magic number, my life would change. I would, have the perfect everything. I would meet the man of my dreams immediately. I would, have amazing female friendships. My family would life would be perfect. I would be perfect. No, friends, that's not what happened. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, actually, things got worse for me. Yes.
How?
Well, I lost a lot of friends. I was the same but different. I wasn't
Mhm.
the overweight, funny, girl anymore. I was the normal weight, funny girl. And it was just hard for people to get used to me going from 235 to 100. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then you don't have that vice to fall back on when things are tough. So, you feel your feelings a lot more.
Mm.
Yeah. So, it was surprising to me. I mean, I don't know why I thought it was a fairy tale. If you're a certain weight, I would see other people that looked that were at their healthy weight and their lives looked so perfect. But, everything's not perfect. And that was a struggle and a surprise to get used to that.
I
Um
bet.
But I'm so grateful that I stuck to my stubbornness and hard-headedness of refusing to be that weight again. And I have really grown emotionally, spiritually, all the things. And I'm able to take that and help my clients that I have now. And you talk about feeling good about myself. My heart gets very full just about every day when I see all these wins. And it's not perfect. I'll have clients that will come crying to me, and we'll cry together. It's a journey for sure,
Yeah.
but seeing these small wins along the way, and we get to the big wins. Oh my goodness, what a joy.
Oh, I love that. Do you have any stories that you are, at liberty to share? You can change names, like somebody that's life is so different now.
Oh yeah, she's actually public.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Alyssa. If you go to my social media, My Healthy Body AZ, Instagram, we also have TikTok, but we also have Facebook, My Healthy Body AZ. Her story is out there. We do videos. She does videos. Her before and after pictures are displayed for the whole world to see. But yeah, one day I got a call from her, and she was doing her research on medical weight loss, and she called me and she was curious about what we did. And so, like I do with everybody else, I vet them, talk about their past medical history, making sure they qualify, and got to talking about her. And she was getting scared because she was close to being pre-diabetic. She was overweight, a mom, a wife. She felt bad about herself. She was depressed, just miserable, and didn't have it in her budget. Just, it was just tough. There was just roadblock, roadblock. And I just felt it in my spirit that I was like, Alyssa, this is for you. You can figure this out. You can find a way to do this. And I promised her I will be here every step of the way. I will hold your hand. I will hold your hair. I will, hold you up. I will celebrate with you. We'll do happy dances together and we'll cry together. I just felt that she was special. Well, we were all special, but she had that fire in her. Sure enough, she figured out how to get the money together, to be able to afford to pay for the medication. And by the way, friends, we aren't expensive. Whenever I tell people our pricing, they're really rather surprised and shocked with all that we offer and give, um, for what we charge. But for me, it's not all about money. Money, you have to have money, you have to pay the bills, but I get more joy out of seeing successes. So back to Lissa. So yeah, she is on her journey. I believe she's lost like 30 pounds right now already. And if you go to my Instagram, you can see her before and after. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And she's glowing. Her energy's changed. She's happy. And so we'll get together and do a walk and talk, we call it. We'll go for a walk together and she'll bring her kids and we'll tape it and we'll talk about what's going on. And she did a recording this morning in her car on the way to school with her kids about Halloween and candy. And, so she's very real, but it's been very exciting seeing her grow and reach her goals.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
just,
so great. And
yeah,
she's probably more present for her kids and her husband or her
yep.
family, her community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Her life has changed. She's working now. She's got a great job at the school that her kids go to, and
Aw.
she's able to be in the playground with the kids and running around with the kids. And she wouldn't be doing that at the weight she was when I first met her.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be so, that feels so good. Yeah, I know that feeling.
It
That's
gives me chills
amazing.
just talking about it.
I know.
It's life
Oh,
changing.
I love it. And, I always think like when I was on my journey of whatever, how different it would have been if I had somebody that was where I am now, for example, in whatever issue I
Yeah.
was dealing with.
Someone's
So,
been there and done it. I can tell you, don't do that, do this.
yes. And you're now doing virtual clients, you just told me.
Yeah, we do have clients that don't live in Arizona and we're able to help them virtually. So, yeah, I had a couple today, a married couple from Oregon, and we got them all taken care of. And I told them today, I said, all right, guys, hang on, because I am emotionally invested in the two of you already. And the best, you're giving your family the best possible gift is good health for you, that you can live more healthy quality years and give that to your kids and grandkids. And it's a
Mm,
very emotional thing to think of it like that.
yeah, it really is. And, I think about that too. Like when people are overweight, I think it's so difficult, especially in our society, because it's like people look at it like they have a choice. And yes, I get that at some point you can make a choice, but I also think that what is causing the desire to eat or to hang on to weight, even because sometimes it's not even, I mean, from my perspective, what I've seen, sometimes it's not that they're eating a heck of a lot more than somebody like me, but the mindset is like making the metabolism slow down and their body holds on to it, and the cortisol level, the stress level.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So a lot of times I just think people get judged so harshly, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I
Me
think
too. It's not right.
yeah, it's definitely not. And I think it's so valuable when people decide that there comes like this moment for I think a lot of people on that journey, like it's like you had that like stake in the ground moment. You're like, that's it, that's enough. And I've had that a few times. And I'm curious, like, did you struggle at all with up and down, or you just went like, I know you plummeted really quickly. Did you ever gain any back and you're like, oh, that's the top of my range, I'm gonna get back on my program?
Absolutely. And yeah, I definitely have fluctuated over the years. It's been about 25 years since I got that initial big chunk off. And the journey doesn't end. We just keep going up levels. And sometimes we go down levels and then we go back up the levels. So absolutely, it's a journey. And I have for myself, I know I was yelling about the scale earlier, but I do have a scale, and I do pay attention to how my clothes fit, and I do weigh myself maybe every other week, once a month maybe. Um, but if that scale gets to a certain number, gets close to it, that's my freak out number, and then I dial way back. Yeah, so I'll never ever be a certain, I'll never go past a certain weight on this number on the scale.
Yeah.
So then I dial it back. But the thing is as I'm learning and growing in my health and wellness journey, I'm learning it's so much more than just the number on the scale. It's so much more than just nutrition.
Mhm.
It's the spiritual part, it's the emotional part, it's the relationship part that that goes along with it. So that I think when you are able to work on all the areas of your life, not just the number on the scale and what you look like, then you'll keep it off for a
Mm,
lifetime, you know.
yeah. We
There's
are. Go ahead.
um I want to talk about excess skin because that's an
Oh,
issue.
yeah. I was wondering about that. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm 4'11", very tiny and small. At my heaviest, I was 235, and today I believe I'm 109. The last time I checked, um, so that's a lot of skin. And the one of the reasons why I was so adamant about do not want to turn 30 yet and be this weight. So my 20s were creeping up. I was getting close to 30 and I was like, I do not want to turn 30 and have this extra weight because I was worried about the skin. Well, you can't help it. You're going to have it. I'm just grateful that my face, sorry, that my
That's
face did not, I'm going to stop. My face did not get the brunt of it, but there are things you can do to help with that, the loose skin. But I did have surgery about 6 years ago.
hmm
I did save all my pennies. It was a lot of money, but I'm worth it, right?
Yes, you are.
And I did a good job of hiding it, but at night when you get ready for bed or whatever, you see it, you feel it. I don't want to sound weird or gross anybody out, but I'd love to take a hot bath at night sometimes and do the eucalyptus and lavender and lake candles. And that's another self
Mm,
loving thing you can do for yourself instead of going for the bag of chips or whatever. So I would
yeah.
do that. And, I'd be all cozy in the bathtub. I'd look down and there'd be skin floating. I mean, it's just, ugh. So I did have 7 hours of plastic surgery about 6 years ago. Yeah, and I was so excited because I worked really hard to get. I mean, I waited so many years because it's expensive, and I
Yeah.
was saving for it. And I made the anesthesiologist kind of irritated. I was so happy that I literally danced into the operating room before I hopped, and I literally hopped on the table. I'm like, "Let's do this," like.
My gosh, I love it.
Yeah, and I was living in Seattle then, and we had a really bad snowstorm, and I had a good friend, and she drove my mom and I in the storm to the doctor's office, and they were all there. The doctor and all of his employees were there, and we did it in the storm.
Oh,
Yeah,
and what was it like after that?
it took me a long time to get used to the different me. It felt weird, but
Yeah.
I am so proud of my scars. Like I have scars, and
Yeah.
I wear bikinis. I'm not scared to show my scars. I'm proud of my scars because having scars, you have a story. You've
Mm,
uh, you've uh, you've accomplished things. You've reached goals. You've been through things. So
yeah.
all of my friends out there, if you have scars, show them off. Don't be embarrassed.
Ah. I love it.
It
Yeah,
tells a story.
they are like battle scars because man, you went through it. It is, I mean, it can be like a war, but it could also be like a love fest, right? Like you're loving yourself so
Yes.
much that
Yes.
you are willing to go through the fire and be uncomfortable and do whatever it takes to like stick with it. I remember this is funny, like it's not funny. After I had my first child, I was so my normal weight is 115. I got up to 152. So I gained 37 pounds.
And
And
you're
after,
tiny too. That must have been a lot
yeah, I'm
for you.
5'3". So
Yeah.
when I got home, the scale was 152. I'm like, how's that possible?
What happened?
I lost zero weight. I took my newborn baby to the mall and someone said, when are you due? Yeah. So
Oh,
then I was heavy in high school, like not
mhm.
huge, but like 20 pounds overweight. And I gained it really evenly. So my face was very pudgy. And we had a reunion coming up. And I'm like, I am not going back to that reunion at this weight. And I remember at like, I was like 137 or something. And I'm like, all right, I got to get, and I was working out all the time and releasing zero. And so I did, do you remember Nutrisystems?
Girl, I did that.
Yeah, it's just super disgusting. And I was
So
working out
so
so
bad.
much. It's bad. But I released like a pound to a pound and a half a week. And I went to bed
Frustrating.
every single night starving. And I thought about the perspective as an American, like this is so unusual for me to feel this level of discomfort. And then I thought about all the people that didn't have food, and I'm like, shut up. And,
Yeah.
but then I thought about all those nights of discomfort to release 1 pound. And one time in college, I gained 9 pounds in a weekend.
What?
Yeah, don't ask what I was doing. But that, but I thought if I splurge, it will be like 2, 3 weeks of this suffering down the drain. So I absolutely refused to cheat. And I went back to my reunion. I was only 10 pounds overweight. I was like 125, but
Wow.
I looked good. I wasn't, 137 at 5'3". And I felt good about what I had accomplished. And then
That's
after
awesome.
that, I went off the Nutrisystems, and the remaining 10 pounds just like went without me doing anything. It's just like it kicked my metabolism into gear. But
Yeah.
I know that sacrifice, and I know like the level of discomfort. And I'm not saying that's what any other plan is, but that's what I went through.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
I know it takes a level of commitment to stick to it. So, I have so much respect for anybody who does it and
me too.
is willing to take it on and take themselves on and to be uncomfortable and to
Yeah.
really value yourself and know that you are worth
Absolutely.
it. And it's
Absolutely.
all worth it on the other side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's not just the weight, the number, it's all the aspects of your life that contribute to that.
Right.
So once you start fixing those and start healing, then other aspects of your life get healthier as well, not just your body.
Yeah. And it is like the internal game for sure. It's like what
Yeah.
goes on in here, and
Mhm.
that's constant. It's like we know that, right?
Yeah.
We're never there. We never arrive, or else we don't need a body anymore.
Well, that's the thing about too is realizing that, as you start your health journey, realizing that it's never going to be, there's never an end date. It's just, it's a new way of living your life.
Mm,
And like you were saying, respecting and loving yourself and
yeah.
making healthier choices. And then, just realizing that there's always more levels to go. And to me, that's exciting. That's like very exciting knowing that, wow, I can keep on this journey and just keep growing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Like the longer I'm alive, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that I believed that. I didn't know that was a belief. Beliefs are like that, though. They're so tricky. They seem like facts, they're perceived truths. And then, we're presented with some new information. We're like, oh, I'm going to make a different choice now. Like, oh, I didn't know I believed that. But I think it's really fun too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. So, any last tips or advice that you have for the audience? Like, if they're suffering, and I mean, I know you know the common things that are going through people's heads before they make that choice. What would you say to somebody who's kind of on the fence?
Well, I have one word. Well, maybe a couple words, but grace. Give yourself grace.
Hmm.
You know, love yourself and take baby steps. Don't try and do it overnight. And you know, every day that you have gives you the opportunity of getting a little bit closer to a more healthy living. And yeah, just give yourself grace. And
Mm,
it's a journey.
yeah, that's so beautiful. We
It's what
all,
do they say? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that grace. Who doesn't need more grace? Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Patsy. If
Thank
people want
you.
to find you, I know you mentioned, what is it again?
My
Healthy.
Healthy Body AZ. That's for Instagram and Facebook. And then you can also our website, myhealthybodyaz.com.
Oh, beautiful. So look up Patsy. She's
Mm.
working with people all over, making a huge difference for them. And if you've been on the fence with this journey, hopefully you are inspired. You know it's possible. If this beautiful woman could release 135 pounds, then you can do it too, whatever you have to release. And you don't have to do it alone. In fact, please don't. Please don't. It's painful, and you can avoid so many mistakes and feel supported while doing it. So reach out to Patsy. So
You know
thank
what?
you. Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And just so you know, I would love to have a chat with you. And it's no pressure. It's just a chat between friends. So no pressure at all
beautiful.
if you want to talk.
Oh, I love that. And she's lovely, everyone. I promise. Oh, you
Thank
can talk.
you.
All right. Thank you so much, Patsy. And thank you, everyone, for watching Irresistible You Ignite Your Passion and Purpose. We'll see you right here next week. Bye.
Bye.